Civil Code of the Philippines, Ownership, Article 455. If the materials, plants, or seeds belong to a third person who has not acted in bad faith, the owner of the land shall answer subsidiarily for their value and only in the event that the one who made use of them has no property with which to pay. This provision shall not apply if the owner makes use of the right granted by Article 450. If the owner of the materials, plants, or seeds has been paid by the builder, planter, or sower, the latter may demand from the landowner the value of the materials and labor. Article 456. In the cases regulated in the preceding articles, good faith does not necessarily exclude negligence, which gives right to damages under Article 2176. Article 457. To the owners of lands adjoining the banks of rivers belong to accretion, which they gradually receive from the effects of the current of the waters. Article 458. The owners of estates adjoining ponds or lagoons do not acquire the land left dry by the natural decrease of the waters or lose that inundated by them in extraordinary floods. Article 459. Whenever the current of a river, creek, or torrent segregates from an estate on its bank a known portion of land and transfer it to another estate, the owner of the land to which the segregated portion retains the ownership of it, provided that he removes the same within 2 years. Article 460. 460. Trees uprooted and carried away by the current of the waters belong to the owner of the land, upon which they may be cast. If the owners do not claim them within 6 months, if such owners, oh, again. Article 460. Trees uprooted and carried away by the current of the waters belong to the owner of the land, upon which they may be cast, if the owners do not claim them within 6 months. If such owners claim them, they shall pay the expenses incurred in gathering them or putting them in safe place. Article 461. River beds which are abandoned through the natural change in the course of the waters ipso facto belongs to the owners whose lands are occupied by the new course in proportion to the area loss. However, the owners of the lands adjoining the old bed shall have the right to acquire the same by paying the value thereof, which value shall not exceed the value of the area occupied by the new bed. Article 461 must be correlated with Article 58 of PD number 1067, which is the Water Code of the Philippines, which state when a river or stream suddenly changes its course to traverse private lands, the owners of the affected lands may not compel the government to restore the river to its former bed, nor can they restrain the government from making steps to revert the river or stream to its former course. The owners of the land thus affected are not entitled to compensation for any damage sustained thereby. However, the former owners of the new bed shall be the owners of the abandoned bed in proportion to the area lost by each. The owners of the affected lands may undertake to retain the river or stream to its old bed at their own expense, provided that a permit therefor is secured from the Secretary of Public Works, Transportation, and Communication, and work pertaining thereto are commenced within 2 years from the change in the course of the river or stream. Article 462. Whenever a river changing its course by natural causes opens a new bed through a private estate, this bed shall become of public dominion. Article 463. Whenever the current of a river divides itself into branches, leaving a piece of land or part thereof isolated, the owner of the land retains his ownership. He also retains it if a portion of land is separated from the estate by the current. Article 464. Islands which may be formed on the seas within the jurisdiction of the Philippines, on lakes, and on navigable or floatable rivers belong to the state. Article 465. Islands which through successive accumulation of alluvial deposits are formed in again. Article 465. Islands which through successive accumulation of alluvial deposits are formed in non-navigable or non-floatable rivers belong to the owners of the margins or banks nearest to each of them, or to the owners of both margins if the island is in the middle of the river, in which case it shall be divided longitudinal, longitudinally in halves. If a single island thus formed be more distant from one margin than from the other, the owner of the nearer margin shall be the sole owner thereof. Article 466. Whenever two movable things belonging to different owners are without bad faith and united in such a way that they form a single object, the owner of the principal thing acquires the accessory, indemnifying the former owner thereof for its value. Article 467. The principal thing, as between two things incorporated, is deemed to be that to which the other has been united as an ornament or for its use or perfection. Article 468. If it cannot be determined by the rule given in the preceding article which of the two things incorporated is the principal one, the thing of the greater value shall be considered, and as between two things of equal value, that of the greater volume. In painting and sculpture, writings, printed matter, engraving and lithographs, the board, metal, stone, canvas, paper, or parchment shall be deemed the accessory thing. Article 469. Whenever the things united can be separated without injury, their respective owners may demand their separation. Nevertheless, in case the thing united for the use, embellishment, or perfection of the other is much more precious than the principal thing, the owner of the former may demand its separation, even though the thing to which it has been incorporated may suffer some injury. Article 470. Whenever the owner of the accessory thing has made the incorporation in bad faith, he shall lose the thing incorporated and shall have the obligation to indemnify the owner of the principal thing for damages he may have suffered. If the one who has acted in bad faith is the owner of the principal thing, the owner of the accessory thing shall have a right to choose between the former paying him its value or that the thing belonging to him be separated, even though for this purpose it be necessary to destroy the principal thing. And in both cases, furthermore, there shall be indemnity for damages. If either one of the owners had made the incorporation with the knowledge and without the objection of the other, their respective rights shall be determined as through both acted in good faith. Article 471. Whenever the owner of the material employed without his consent has a right to an indemnity, he may demand that this consists in the delivery of a thing equal in kind and value, and in all other respects to that employed, or else in the price thereof, according to expert appraisal. Article 472. If by the will of the owners two things of the same or different kinds are mixed, or if the mixture occurs by chance, and in the latter case, things are not separable without injury, each owner shall acquire a right proportional to the part belonging to him, bearing in mind the value of the thing mixed or confused. Article 473. If the will of only one owner, but in good faith, two things of the same or different kinds are mixed or confused, the rights of the owners shall be determined by the provisions of the preceding article. If the one who caused the mixture or confusion acted in bad faith, he shall lose the thing belonging to him, thus mixed or confused, besides being obliged to pay indemnity for the damage caused to the owner of the other thing with which his own was mixed. Article 474. One, one who in good faith employs the material of another in whole or in part in order to make a thing of a different kind shall appropriate the thing thus transformed as his own, indemnifying the owner of the material for its value. If the material is more precious than the transformed thing, or is of more value, its owner may, at his option, appropriate the new thing to himself, after first paying indemnity for the value of the work, or demand indemnity for the material. If in the making of the thing bad faith intervene, the owner of the material shall have the right to appropriate the work to himself without paying anything to the maker, or to demand of the latter that the indemnity him for the value of the material and the damages he may have suffered. However, the owner of the material cannot appropriate the work in case the value of the latter, for artistic or scientific reason, is considerably more than that of the material. Article 475. In the preceding articles, sentimental value shall be duly appreciated.